Not for. Oh, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I forgot to do a wrestling intro this week, and that's very bad of me. I'm so sorry. I guess the champs are here. Yeah, there we go. We reeled it back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the GodisaGeek podcast. My name is Dan Murphy, and joining me, the three Musketeers are back, ladies and gentlemen. Joining me for the first time since LA is Mr. Mike Stubbsy. Mike, how's it been? It's been a bit of a wee while. It's been a bit weird not being by your side.
It's been a long time. Like I've just been dead since it. But one thing I do have to say is a shout out to Palmer, who literally 10 minutes before we started this podcast watched me play a Dota game for the best part of 45 minutes, expecting to then play a game with me after I finished the game.
Oh.
And I had to turn around and go, no, I'm about to do a podcast, sorry.
I imagine you forgot about the podcast until you saw the messages on Slack.
Yeah, like when I saw your message, I literally just came out of the Dota game and was about to start queuing again with Palmer for the next one. And then I was like, oh shit, no, we've got to cancel this search, like I can't play.
Oh, I'm glad your commitments to the cause outweigh your need for Dota. I'm quite surprised at that, to be honest with you.
I mean, I have been playing a lot since we got back from E3. Like, I think it's pretty much the only thing I've played. So
is it like your soothing thing to just like lull you back into gaming, like just your comfort food, I guess, of games?
Yeah, it's just kind of like. But the week before E3, I didn't play, and then I was out at E3 for like 10 days, and then I was just dead for like the next 3 days due to jet lag, and then I had an event that weekend, so I didn't play Dota for about 3 weeks. So I've just been like, and then stupidly I came back and like after a game thought, right, I'm good enough to go back into ranked. Went into ranked, like lost 200 MMR and was like, shit. So I've just been trying to regain that MMR that I lost because of E3.
No idea what that means, like, but we'll go anyway. And also joining me is, of course, it's Mr. Greg Hill. Greg, how are you doing? How was E3 on this side of the pond and all that nonsense?
It was the most stressful week of my life. I had to do all the news myself. Did it all.
Did they help you in the end?
No, I did.
I feel so sorry.
Just me. It was me and Mikhail, so we did that. But by the time I got to like Ubisoft, and then I did Sony, but by the time I got to like Ubisoft, and then like after that, I was like, I can't bother writing anything. Like for Ubisoft, I don't think I really wrote that much because I just ended up being like
announced.
Yeah,
I know
like
I was
Steep and just announced, and then everything else was 20-minute gameplay demos of shit we already seen.
I know, and then I was just like I didn't like anything for Ubisoft, but yeah, E3 was okay this side. The stuff that came out of it was quite good, but it was very stressful, and now I just want to sleep for an hour.
Yeah, I've been doing manual labour in the last week or so, 2 weeks even, and not good. I'm not used to manual labour. It's been quite a shock to the system. Quite a time. Well, the problem was that last 2 weeks ago, me and my mate, when we were drunk, booked a trip to Denmark on Friday, and I didn't really have the funding to do that, and so I had to work at my dad's factory, pulling out leaves and weeds and fucking cut down trees.
That sounds like fun. So like that's how you're paying for your holiday.
Pretty much. And I've got fucking sunburn on my neck.
Oh god.
It's not even been that sunny.
You're a wounded soldier, Dan. You have to just cancel your holiday and just like take a week off and just relax.
I believe that's happening in like 2 weeks, but I need it now. It's so unfair. So, Stubbsy, you've had time to reflect now. How do your thoughts on E3 remain the same? I know we're still belabouring this and still talking about it, but first time I've been on the podcast since the sunny skies of LA.
I mean, it was a solid E3. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as the year before. I think the show floor was much easier.
I was surprised at how easy it was. I thought it'd be a lot more of a slog, and it really wasn't.
It's because Activision wasn't there properly. And so that was like, well, I was there for 40 minutes, you were there for 40 minutes, so that was a piece of piss. And then you haven't got, like, Disney weren't there, EA, obviously, we didn't see. They took up, like, fucking 3 hours of my time the year before. We just kind of had less things to do, which, I mean, ultimately worked out quite well, I think.
I don't think we really missed any. Well, we missed Xbox on the show floor, I guess, and
yeah, I mean, there was no Xbox, no EA. I mean, we got most of it. I was disappointed by actually being in the halls itself. I think if we wasn't in the fortunate position of actually having appointments and was just like one of the plebs who goes to E3 for some reason that like don't have appointments, I think it would have been a really, really bad year.
Oh yeah, I had to queue for fucking Deus Ex and...
Oh yeah, for all of about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but even that was like, what the fuck is this? I do not know who I am, mate. I've got the fucking media pass, and I'm queuing.
Everyone has a media pass.
A proper media pass, though, you know what I'm saying? And
well, it's the same pass.
Nah, because we have purple passes, and other people have yellow passes and fucking green passes and shit.
Yeah, it's like for buyers and and prosumers, I think they were called.
I should have been in the plebe queue. That's what I'm trying to get at. And Deus Ex wasn't even that good. I was very annoyed that I had to queue for it. But what can you do, eh? That is what is life and whatnot. What have you been playing? Just Dota since? E3?
Yeah, and Civ. Like, I got into Civ, basically.
Oh, so good.
Like, I've never really played Civ at all. Like, I think I played an hour once and was like, nah, I don't know what this is. And then I subscribed to PC Gamer, although I'm not going to go into the specifics of how. And
illegally.
It's actually not illegal.
Oh no, you're joking.
I just didn't quite pay for it. But yeah,
oh god, maybe I shouldn't say that. Whoa.
Like, my copy of PC Gamer arrived, and like the cover story of this issue is a Civ 6 preview. It's like 4 pages long. I think it's by Phil Savage. And I read that, and I was like, shit, this is actually like made me want to go and learn what Civ is. So that's basically what I did. Like,
what
I read
is it?
This.
I know it's like I've not always known the Gandhi jokes
Dan.
and shit, but what is?
It's an RTS. It's a 4X RTS game. No, not RTS. Turn-based strategy game. Like 4X with hex and shit like that. And you basically got to find a way to. You run a civilization. So I did a random game and started out as like head of the Greeks or something. And like started off with one city, and then you sort of explore the land and make more cities, and then you can either like kill all the other cities and leaders to win, or you can get a diplomatic victory where if people like you and you build the UN, you can win, or you can get a technology victory where if you get to space, I think it is, you win.
How do you win? What do you mean? What is a win?
A win is like, well, that's how you win. Like, to win the game. Like, you run different games, but games can last hours.
Okay.
Or they can last, like, forever.
Yeah, and the idea is to win. Like,
okay.
So you either win by destroying everyone else, or building the UN, or getting to space, or however else you can win.
Is it similar or different to Tropico 5? Because I've got that on the Xbox, on the PlayStation, sorry. Because I've got...
I don't know. Never played Tropico.
Because it was free on
It's not. It's kind of similar, like... The way you can set policies and stuff like that is, but it's not like you go in and build like a little city. It's like you run like a nation.
Like SimCity?
Yeah, sort of. It's just it's like a Latin version. Yeah.
Okay.
But Civ, you like run a country, and then you like take it from like medieval times, like way back to like into the future. There's like expansions for the future and stuff like that. But it's so good. Like, I just love it. I really want to play it now that you've talked about it, Mikey.
See, like. It's one of them, like, I'm a PC gamer, so realistically I should know what Civ is and should have played it, but I just never really did. And then, like, I fucking sat through a Civ 6 presentation at E3, like, was not interested whatsoever. Like, I gave it a chance, it was just like, this isn't a game that I understand, I don't know what they're talking about. So I sort of started thinking about, like, my next appointment and where can I save time and, like, other stuff. And I can remember sitting there and thinking that. And then I just get back, like a few days later, I read this thing in PC Gamer. I'm like, shit, this actually sounds really good. So what we can conclude is that PC Gamer should be running 2K's marketing department.
Because it's made you buy Civ?
Yes. Like, sitting through an entire 30-minute presentation didn't make me care about Civ. But
when does Civ 6 come out?
October, I think.
I hope you can get it on Mac. I would get it on Mac, but I just don't think it'll run that well. Like, I kind of transitioned like from... Rome Total War. Like, I used to play that like way back, and then I had Civilization, the first one, on my PS1 when I was like 5. But then I just don't know how I came across it. I think it was on sale or something on Steam, and I was like, you know what? I've heard of Civ. I'll just buy it, and then I bought it, and it was just like, oh, it's so good. Oh, I'm going to download it actually. I think.
See, as someone who's just never been a PC gamer, probably never will be.
But it's more like strategy though. Like,
yeah, no, but that type of stuff I just associate with PC, and because you can only get it on PC, and I just never like got into it, and I doubt I ever will. And, like, this type of strategy stuff, it kind of like my level of strategy goes like Persona 4. That's like the highest I get, and it's
That's
not
not even that strategy.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm not one. I'm going to try Tropical 5 because I reckon that'll be similar-ish to like that type of thing. It'll be out of my comfort zone in that type of thing, so I want to give it a go at some point. But yeah, I've never been someone who just I've never necessarily had a PC, so I've never had like the opening to get into it. But before we move on to what else we've played this week, shall we go through E3 predictions and what we thought of them and see who won?
Yeah, please tell me you have a note of them, because I don't.
I do. I was clever and took them all down. We'll
good.
start with Mike. Are you ready for this, Mikey?
Yeah.
Okay. Your first prediction was a new Viva Pinata coming out in October.
I mean, I was clearly right on that.
Incorrect. You said no Shenmue 3 at the presses, which was correct.
That was right, yeah.
You this one, fucking hell. Sony announced at least 2 Vita exclusives. You almost deserve a minus for that, because they didn't even fucking mention the word Vita once.
Alright, here's my defence. If Sony had gone an hour and a half, 2 hours, they would have done.
See, I don't think they would. They'd only announce Vita things now at like PSX, because that's where people who actually have Vitas will go.
Or Tokyo Game Show as well. They announced loads there.
Yeah, but here's my thinking. There will be 2 new Vita exclusives, like proper exclusives, this year. And so my thinking was, if they went 2 hours, they would have put them in there, but they didn't go 2 hours. They went an hour and a bit, I want to say.
Really.
And so they didn't. They went bang, 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 bang with games. So they didn't have time to do it there. I think if they had a bigger presentation, they would have done.
Okay, but alas, they did not, and your prediction was quite wrong. You said then your fourth prediction was cringeworthy live Elder Scrolls Legends match at Bethesda.
Which was wrong. Yeah,
it was wrong.
It was wrong, but there was then one at the after show. At the
it's
after
nearly
fight,
right.
There was one.
Yeah, you were nearly right. You halfway there, but alas, we was on about after shows. By the way, Bethesda, your bar staff, they do stuff right. Fucking big props.
I was talking about you at Bethesda to some people at the weekend, actually. Some people who were also there.
Oh, that was a fun day. That was a fun day. I'd rather not know what you were talking about before, because I'm a bit trepidatious and scared. Your final prediction was Scissor Reel with a brief snippet of Halo 6 at the end of Microsoft's conference. And again, you were very incorrect. So, Mike, you predicted in total one thing correct from E3.
Yeah, I'm the best.
Congratulations. Greg, your first prediction was a Last Guardian release date announced, but you said it would be November. So
when is it coming out? I don't even fucking know.
It's coming out in October.
Oh fuck, I was close. That's half a point.
Close.
Ding.
It's half a point. You then said Shenmue Remaster Bundle. Incorrect.
Yeah.
You said a Skyrim Remaster. December/January. When's that released?
I don't know.
Isn't that before December, January?
Yeah, I think it is. It's like October or something. I will look it up to minutes.
Another half point. You said a new trailer for Danganronpa 3. That was incorrect.
No, that's Smile Out. No, Skyrim comes out in October.
Oh, unlucky. But then, Kojima will tease a new game, its action, and it will get a name. I think you were all bang on fucking humdinger there. Like, I don't know what they call Death Stranding in the end, but that's what they've given it a name for now. So fucking, that's 1.5 points for Greg. Or 2 points even. You've smashed it, lad. What did you think of the Kojima thing?
I don't know, I thought it was really strange, like... Were you at PlayStation?
Yeah, he came out like a wrestler. It was so funny, and people were going fucking mad for it. Like, there was one dude who I looked over, and he stood up out of his chair, lifted both of his arms up in like a fucking praise me, take me pose, with his hands in like the rock symbol, and just fucking headbanging. It was quite.
That's insane. Like, I thought it was really like weird. I think it will be. I don't know. I really don't know what I thought. Like, it is my desktop background. Like the Death Strand. Is it Death Stranding? That's what it's called.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Death Stranding. Yeah.
It was. I don't know. I don't really know. Like, because there was no gameplay, there was no indication of what kind of game it was going to be. I'm not going to get my hopes up right now, but it did look kind of cool. It was really weird. It was kind of something that you would kind of expect.
It's just to get people talking, isn't it? It's like the game's not going to be out for at least 5 years.
It won't be out until like 2019 or something.
Definitely, that's being fucking generous. Like, how long did MGS5 take? Fucking years, and he doesn't have anything to like, go on after he did
Isn't
MGS.
Kojima doing the lead keynote at Develop next week?
I would not
don't know,
even
actually.
know what that is.
Develop's like a conference down in Brighton that's
Brighton.
kind of a bit more industry focused, and
Okay.
they have like tons of speakers. I'm sure Kojima. I'm going to Google this because I'm sure Kojima's doing the headliner, and he's got to talk about something, and he's not going to talk about Konami.
Intriguing. Like, could he not just talk about design in a sense of not literally referencing MGS, but just talking about the
2016
stuff he did?
speakers.
I think that would be a bit boring. Yeah, Hideo
But is that
Kojima's
not
keynote
this?
Develop Brighton 2016.
No, fair enough. That'd be interesting to see what comes out of that.
It doesn't really say. Oh, Kojima will be joined on stage for an hour-long fireside chat with industry legend and president of Cerny Games and longtime friend Mark Cerny. Oh my god, that's going to be pure bants.
Yeah, that's all over the place.
The discussions will focus around Kojima's inspirations, processes, and his thoughts on the future of the game. Or, okay, that might...
Game, it must say industry, hidden somewhere.
No, that says the future of the game. Like, oh,
Yeah, I'm
right. So
saying
the
industry.
paragraph starts. The paragraph starts famed for his hit Metal Gear Solid franchise. Kojima will be joined on stage for an hour-long fireside chat with industry legend and president of Sony Games and longtime friend. That says and twice, I think. Mark Cerny. The discussion will focus around Kojima's inspirations, processes, and his thoughts on the future of the game. So maybe they will talk about Metal Gear.
Maybe. It might just be in like broad strokes though, or just.
He'll probably say something about Death Stranding. I think it's either that. He'll either say something, or he'll just absolutely like pretend it doesn't exist.
Which he should be doing. He should be going into a fucking hiding and just not. But he can't. He's too like social in it. But he should just not mention that game again until they've
Ever.
got a
Just
proper
like
trailer.
fucking scrap it. So
The
shit.
next Last Guardian. Imagine. Anyway, my predictions. They're not that good. Alright. I said a new pirate game from Ubisoft. First 6 months of next year.
Well,
Wrong. I said new consoles announced. Technically, I'm getting like 0.25 of a point because they were announced. I said November. It was incorrect. I said 1 terabyte. The Xbox Slim was 2 terabyte, and I said smaller than current consoles, which is correct. So I'm going to give me 0.3. 0. What do you reckon I get from that? I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and I got 2 right. What percentage is that?
that's 0.4.
0.4. Get that. Fucking clutching here. I said Rocksteady will tease new game, and it would be Justice League. They did tease a new game. It just wasn't Justice League. It was a VR experience.
Are we calling it a game or are we calling it an experience?
Because
Because it wasn't very gamey from the sound of things.
I'm clutching. It's still it's at a games conference, and it is still be called a game. Like semantic experience game semantics.
That Powers TV show was at the Sony conference the other year, and that wasn't a game.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
shit, that's what it was.
But it was a TV show. It was a game. But I'm getting it 0.5 points. I'm the fucking king of this house. I'll do what I want. We get the return of Crash Bandicoot, and it's not by Naughty Dog. That was my prediction. I said we get the return of Crash Bandicoot. We got the return of Crash Bandicoot, did we not?
Yeah, but is it by Naughty? It's just remastered.
It's not.
It's just
Well, it would
remastered
probably
by some
exactly.
people.
Yeah, I would
It's
say
not by
return's
Naughty,
fine.
won't
No,
be.
but it's like they're fully redone though, so I would say
It'd probably be
give
by
us the
Blue
point.
Point, who did the Uncharted ones. I'd imagine.
Yeah, I don't know who it'll be, but yeah, give yourself a point for that.
Oh yes, and then finally, next Red Dead is announced, and had loads of stipulations which were not correct. You've beaten me, Gregory, by 0.1 of a point.
That's what you get when you're a news editor. You just can see the future of news, kind of. 2 out of 4, 2 out of 5. It's hardly ideal, but it's better than 1.9 out of 5.
You're well done. You are the winner.
Thank
Round
you.
of applause.
I
What was
bow.
your favourite thing from E3 that was announced or you saw gameplay of over you?
Oh fuck. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I wasn't really I wasn't overwhelmed, like gasping at anything.
Okay.
God of War looked quite good, and I've never played the God of War game, but I thought it looked quite good. But then I don't know if I feel like they're just kind of pulling it, like just pulling it too far. Like it feels like it doesn't look like a God of War game. It looks kind of like, I mean, I thought it was a new Last of Us game or something. Like when they started showing it.
To be fair, I thought there was a new Last of Us game about 4 different times during Sony's press conference, but
I like that. That Days, was it Days Gone?
Days
That
Gone,
was called.
Yeah.
It looked really good.
Like, so you know how they announced it, and like Stubbsy's theory is probably correct. How they announced it was Sony Bend first, and then didn't at the end because you don't want to end on Sony Bend.
Mm-hmm.
But I was convinced at one point, like at the end, after the long fucking my certainty had waned after the zombies were shown, but I was like half certain, like at the end of that gameplay, it was going to come up Days Gone, and that would have been like the after bit for Last of Us semicolon or colon.
Oh, like
Days Gone.
Last of Us Days Gone. It did kind of look like that actually, and when it came like to the end, and like when the guy was getting chased by those zombies, like it was so intense. Mm-hmm. It kind of looked like a Walking Dead, like a real Walking Dead game. But I thought it looked quite good. A lot of people were saying they thought it looked shit, but I was like, I think it looks not bad. I would like to give it a try.
I think it looked rather same. It didn't look anything different, but I thought it was more of the technical aspect of the zombies and stuff which is impressive instead of the actual. I like the idea of like bikers and whatnot in the apocalypse or whatever.
I think it'll be interesting, and obviously Zelda as well. It looked just like I watched all the videos on it, and it just looks.
Zelda's very good.
It looks amazing.
Mm. Well, what were you playing while we were sunning it up in LA? In fact, we weren't even sunning it up that much because the weather until like the last 3 days was.
You
pretty
say that like we almost died on the last 2 days.
The last day, right? The very last day. So me and Stubbsy, we go to the bar to watch the England game, and it's very disappointing. And then it's absolutely fucking roasting. But we've got outright, so we've checked out of our hotel or our Airbnb, but our bags are still at the Airbnb, so we need to go back at some point to get them. But we've got like 4 or 5 hours of doing fuck all until we go because our flight was late. So he's like, "Should we go and watch a film?" I was like, "Right, we'll go watch a film." So we went watching Finding Dory, but walking to the cinema, it was like in between 2 really tall buildings, and the weather, the heat, and that kind of light wind, it's like being in a fucking oven. It was absolutely roasting.
Oh, LA is warm.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't that bad for most of it though. It was like very cloudy and overcast.
Yeah, the heat double. Apparently, it was like 20. It was like really low 20s during the week when we was there, and then that last day it hit 40. So it's pretty much double as hot.
And you could fucking tell. Jesus. Yeah. Finding Dory was actually alright when it Stubbsy.
It was quite good. I enjoyed it.
I tried to go and see it like last week over here, but then like I was like, oh, it must be out. Like I was so assuming it was out, but it's not out here until the end of July, and I was like, fuck's sake.
It's good because it doesn't shoehorn in the characters from the previous film. Like it has one in the film. It has one, and basically just a plot device, and that's it. They don't shoehorn in the characters. Like you don't have the fucking sharks turning up or anything like that. It's like mostly new characters apart from you fucking main 3. It was pretty good. It's like a bit of a. I don't know if it was necessarily needed as a sequel, but it was sweet and alright. They had fucking Idris Elba playing such a small role in it. I was so surprised that they had such a big name, and he's only doing animals at the minute. It's quite strange. He's done. He did the tiger in Jungle Book, the fucking buffalo in Zootopia, and now a big sea lion in Finding Nemo or Finding Dory even. But it was alright. What did you reckon, Stubbsy?
I liked it. Although the cinema was pretty top notch, the amount of legroom and seats were like holy fuck.
Yeah, it was very.
But then again, it was in fucking LA Live, which you would expect it to be quite a nice cinema there.
It was good. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. It's just a bit. The dolphin or whale characters were weird. Like they looked like. They didn't look like they had as much detail in them as all the other characters. It was kind of weird. They just looked like fucking rubber. And I don't know. It was strange to me. What have you been playing, Greg?
Well, while you're away, I just played Overwatch constantly. It's
competitive mod's a thing now. I'm not for that. Well,
it's absolutely shit. I fucking hate it.
There's been mixed feelings towards it. Yeah.
It's just it comes across as really unfair. Like a lot of the games. Like, if 2 teams are really good and they're fighting for the same point, I don't know what Mikey thinks. I don't know if you've played much of it, Mikey, but if 2 teams are, like, kind of pushing really well and it comes to a tie, it's, like, decided on a coin flip. So that decides if you're attacking or defending, and it really fucks you up, because if a team knows they're going to be defending, they'll all go like Torbjorns and Reinhardts and Bastions. So like the point is like you just cannot get there, because no matter who you go, you can't like zip in, and even if you go Tracer, there's no way to get in. And it's just not enjoyable. Like when you lose, you plummet down the levels, but when you win, you're barely like going up a level at all, and it's just I don't know. I'm not enjoying it. I've been playing Quick Play most of the time, but I'm playing Overwatch. Obviously, it's the best game ever. Also been playing what's it called? Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13.
There's not been 13 of these games.
There has. They've started out on the NES.
Jesus, what is this Wii U then, not 3DS?
Maybe it wasn't NES actually. Maybe tell a lie with that. I saw someone tweet at me the other day. I think it was Nick actually, saying he remembers them from so long ago, but it's on PS4. It's sort of like Civ. I was going to like lead on for that into it. So it kind of, I'm trying to think how to describe it. It's basically set in the Chinese like story of the Three Kingdoms, and these kind of three families these three regions are warring, and you kind of try and play along and play through the kind of historical stories of them, and it's really complex. Like I've been playing it, and Chris is reviewing it. I've been just kind of playing it on PS4, and it's just so complex. Like the kind of mechanics of it, like there's loads of diplomacy, but the way you do it is really strange. Like you have to visit people, and then if you want to meet someone else, they'll write you a letter of recommendation so you can be introduced to the other person, and then you have to kind of work your way up and befriend these people and buy them like gifts, and there's like a kind of like a combat aspect as well. It's weird. I've not played that much of it enough to understand it yet, because I just go in and I'm like, tutorials please, but it's okay. Like I think it'll get better once I know the ropes.
What's the actual playing of it? Is it just like top down clicking stuff like?
It's like a variety of screens. Like the art of it, like the visual art, like the Chinese like models and stuff like that. They look great. Like it's really well drawn, but it's mainly just like the view of like a city, but you can't like edit the city or anything. There's like kind of three main like branches of options, and it's like the city, you can go to the gate and you can move about, like you can move your characters about like in a country, and they'll like do like several diplomacy things and meet people and recruit people, and there is like a top-down aspect when you're on the city, but there's also like in-game battles where you can control the forces around like the forts. It's so, in that way it reminds me of Rome Total War, but pretty sure you can do that in Civ as well. Actually, I don't know. Not played in a while, but it's, I don't know. I've seen people giving it like 5 out of 5 and like top marks, but other people are giving it lower marks, and some people say, like I saw a Reddit review, it was like it's the best strategy game on PS4, and I kind of find that hard to believe because I don't feel like I have any idea what's going on. No, I feel like that's the thing. I feel like I'm never going to have an idea of what's going on because it's just so like left field. It's unreal. But I'll keep playing. I'll keep you updated. It's a weird one. But,
Stubbsy, as someone who likes Civ and strategy, does this Japanese strategy thing have any interest to you?
I mean, you killed it with the word Japanese, and you.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's actually it's set in China.
No, China.
So it's all the same.
Sorry about.
Oh, racist.
Well, fucking hell, Mr. Brexit over here, ruling everyone together.
Mr. What do you call him? Mr. Brexit?
Yep. So. You just get dumped with all the Japanese/Chinese shite now, don't you, Greg?
I don't mind it. That's what I want. So it's good for me. Not good for you in the podcast because you have to listen to it, but
yeah, it is a bit like that. It's just like Greg talks about his Japanese stuff for a bit, and then everyone else just like fucking
just
out.
Checks their phone, goes to sleep.
I was checking my phone. I'm not gonna lie, just seeing what's going on.
I'm currently browsing our Dota 2.
Okay, well, goodbye. Hanging up now.
Well, so I've been playing recently. Finally got Colum, the pesky devil. Finally got round to fucking sending me Uncharted 4. And been getting fired into that, and I'm in chapter 7 now. Just started chapter 7, so I've done 6 chapters, and that game, as everyone has rightly said, is fucking gorgeous. The lighting, the like character models are like second to none. I think there's pretty much no one doing what Naughty Dog are doing in terms of like facial like animation and character animation, and like the way they'd be able to just get it so lifelike and stuff. Maybe Until Dawn comes first, but they had dead eyes and all that type of stuff. Now, I don't know, have any of you played Uncharted 4?
Nope.
No, I have heard people talk about it though, but I have no idea.
Now, chapter 3 and 4 of Uncharted 4 are absolutely fucking astounding. So I don't know if you want to, are you ever going to play it?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I'm still waiting for Tomb Raider, so I don't know. Probably not.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm gonna talk. So you know the premise of Uncharted 4, don't you?
Not really.
Well, it's in the trailers. Do you mind if I talk to you about the premise?
No, go for it. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just waiting for Stubbsy to go. Yeah, I do mind. Just don't say anything.
Well, I don't mind if I go for it.
Basically, Drake's retired and everything. He's out, and
spoilers.
He's living a normal life. It's in the trailers, right? So there's this great opening mission where you're doing this diving job, and you then realise that you get out and it isn't some great fucking like expedition or anything or treasure hunt. It's just him shipping out a fucking truck out of a lake in some shitty city. It's like such a brilliant fucking scene just to show where Drake's at, and then he goes home, and you've probably seen it in the trailers if you've seen it of him talking to Elena, his now wife, and stuff like that. And there's a fucking great Easter egg that's like, I got it spoiled for this. I won't spoil it for you, but it's absolutely
no. I know what it is. It's okay.
Oh, it's absolutely phenomenal and so good. It's like the opening scene. I think I could. It's like the type of scene that I reckon I could like write like a wanky essay about analysing it in like a media thing and saying how things represent things and stuff like that, and how they reveal like tempers audience expectations and all that type of stuff. It's really majestically done, and to my greatest delight, the shooting and the movement and just the whole gameplay is a lot better for me. As I said on the podcast a few times, I was not a massive fan of the first 3 Uncharted games. I thought they just didn't really like the combat, didn't really like much of anything really. I just didn't really jive with me. But this now, I imagine it's going to be pretty similar. I've not really got into proper full-on combat scenarios yet, but just the way Drake moves, the way he like jumps and like swings on ropes, it feels a lot more natural and it flows a lot more. And then the guns feel a lot better. I feel I might have to tune the aiming or the sensitivity a bit because it feels a bit loose on that degree, but it feels really nice. The guns have good impact, and everyone feels a little bit more distinctive than they did in the other 3 games. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it so far. It's good. I don't know how. I've got manual labour work now. I'm very tired. I don't know how long it's going to take me to complete it, but certainly something I'm looking forward to doing so. And hopefully, I've heard of a few people that it jumps the shark a bit towards the end. Hopefully it isn't. Hopefully I don't find it that bad, but it's fairly promising thus far.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I was talking to Nicola about it actually while we were playing Overwatch, believe it or not, and she was saying we ended up talking about just Naughty Dog games in general, like Last of Us. We're talking about Last of Us, and Nicola was saying that she found Uncharted 4 and Last of Us to just be like a drag, it was like a chore to get through. She said, I think that was her exact words. And I was like, you know what? Like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Like, when I played Last of Us, like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great game, like, really. But like, I found it kind of difficult to get through as well. And it wasn't just because it was like a story-based game. Like, I thought it was like brilliant. The story was brilliant, but I don't know. There was something about it that just made it really like. It felt like every time you played it, it just was a really heavy game. Like it wasn't like you could just kind of pick it up and go, yeah, I'll play Last of Us. Like looking forward to it. It was more like you had to like sit and make a conscious decision to play it, and then when you were playing it, it was just kind of. Okay,
I definitely get that.
Like kind of dragging your way through it, because like I did enjoy it, and honestly, it's one of the best games I've ever played. But I don't know, it was a different experience of like gameplay, if you know what I mean. Like it wasn't just like going into a kind of story game.
The whole point of Last of Us is like it's dreary, it's heavy, like you're scraping around on your hands and knees looking for bottles and bricks and planks of wood to twat people with. It's not exactly it's not like the bombastic nature of Uncharted, but I do understand that. I had that with the first 3 Uncharted games, but I didn't finish the 3rd one, and the 2nd one I've managed to scrape through, but. They really do feel like chores. And Last of Us not as much, because the enemies weren't. So when you're fighting the human enemies in Last of Us, they're all just normal humans. They're all one type of enemy. You might have a sniper, you might have someone who has a shotgun who'll come at you, but they're all just humans, just normal sized, and that's it. But in and Uncharted, especially the second one, I think when you're near the train, I think there's just so many fucking man-human tanks, like fucking loads of Gregor Cleglanes just fucking coming at you with shotguns and about 24 inches of armour, and it's impossible to kill them. It takes fucking ages, and the ammo was sparse in Uncharted at times so far. It took me, and that was a real slog to get through. I understand completely where you're coming from. I'd always start the Uncharted games on normal difficulty, but then they just get bumped down too easy as soon as I got fucking stuck.
Yeah.
It's a story game, can't be asked fucking having to beat these fucking cunts every 4 hours, or having to keep restart it because it just gets a bit of a drag. And I do agree with that a lot.
It was just an interesting point because it made me just think what kind of how different story games can be, because I didn't realise it at the time, but then hearing her talk about it and then thinking about it myself and thinking about playing it again, I could never play it again, I don't think.
Well,
because
that's interesting because I've kept The Last of Us on remaster, and I went to play it again 6 months ago maybe, and I got to the bit when you're first leaving the city, I think, and it's night time. And you're going through it. It's basically the first time you encounter 6 runners and then 2 clickers in the same area. And I was like, I died once, and I was like,
fuck this.
I can't really be bothered. I can't be bothered.
No.
And I was really disappointed because I thought I'd go back and play Uncharted once a year, and I've Uncharted Last of Us once a year. And I'm going to get around to it again at some point, but it's 13 hours. It is, and you forget loads of stuff that happens. There's a bit, it's a lot of the bits you remember the massive story beats. But then there's a lot of stuff in the middle where you kind of forget happens.
Yeah.
It's good.
I don't know. I might play it again. I do have it, but we'll see. It was just weird. It was just a thought.
What's your thoughts on Naughty Dog games, Stubbsy?
I mean, we've been through this a few times before. I can't finish them in one sitting.
No, you can. Don't worry.
Just Uncharted, The Last of Us, I'll play the first 4 hours and then I'll drop out for a month and a half and then I'll come back and finish it. But yeah, we've said that before, so let's just move on.
Fair enough. Well, news. Shall we go to news, Greg? You're the news editor and whatnot. There's been some controversy on the YouTube space with some CSGO betting stuff and some YouTubers doing naughty things. I have very little idea what these naughty things are, apart from promoting a betting account that they own, is what the bit I grasped. What the fuck's going on?
So YouTubers, I think it's Team RTN, I think his name is, and Pro Syndicate Tom. His name's Tom. Well, it's not Tom Syndicate, but his name's Tom Castell or something like that, or Castle. They own a website called CS:GO Betting, and it was never revealed in any of their videos that they owned this website, right? But they started making videos of them. Basically, what you do in these websites is you gamble skins for weapons. You put them in, and you get them in random loot boxes that you pay. It's $2.50 per key to unlock these loot boxes, and you'll get randomly selected skins inside. You can put these skins up for sale or up for gamble on these websites, which is pretty illegal because you are gambling, and it is presenting a kind of gambling scenario to kids that aren't aged. And you put these skins up, and they're people are willing to pay $10,000 dollars whatever to buy these skins because they're so rare and all that. And so you put these skins in, you gamble them against you put them in this pot. Everyone kind of gambles, and then the winner of the pot gets all the skins. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But they put these videos up of them winning these crazy amounts of skins, this crazy amount of money and all that on this website, CSGO Lottery, I think it's called, and it was kind of false advertising because in one of the videos it shows that the Team RTN guy, he's on the Steam account he's on is called CSGO Lottery Bot, as if it's a robot account. And they also, because they own the website, it came out that they own the website, they've owned it from the start, even though he said he didn't, but he has, it's on the documents. They have access to the back end of this website, so they can fuck up with the coding. Not that they have done it, but it's highly possible, and they are completely able to do that. So that's why it was kind of sketchy, and they didn't put any disclaimers or anything like that in any of their videos. They did so many videos of them as well, and they all had really clickbait titles. as if to encourage kids to come and watch them, and how to win money and win all these kind of prizes and shit like that. It was never disclaimed that they owned the website, that it was any kind of promotion, advert or anything, and they got a fuck ton of abuse for it, which is, I don't know, rightly so, I feel like, because it's hardly ideal that they promote this without saying, like, without kind of like disclaiming that they are in fact the owners, that they have the power, like, over the website, and it was just really, really sketchy. And a lot of people were just furious about it. Loads of parents have sued Valve and stuff like that, saying that they've exposed their children to gambling, because Valve have to, like, they allow these sites, you can log in through Steam to access these websites, and parents have been taking Valve to court over it, saying that they've exposed their kids to gambling and it's illegal, and it should be kind of controlled under law and stuff like that. And it's quite interesting. It's strange how it's all came about, but it's not exactly great. Pro Syndicate said that there'd be more transparency from now on, and it's like it really shouldn't be from like now on. Like, these things should always be transparent if you're dealing with, like, people's money. Like, if it's like gambling, and these are young kids as well. Like, they could be like spending their money on anything, and they're spending it on a stupid fucking website.
I don't get how so many kids have so much access to, like, fucking bank accounts online stuff. I never had that.
I know.
Never.
Neither that. I think I got my first Visa debit when I was like 16, and even then I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I was like, I just don't know how to do it. Stubbsy, what's your take on all this shite?
I mean, it's not dodgy. Oh, it is dodgy, but I can't blame them for doing it. Like, fuck it, I would. Like, if I own something,
you have no moral centre.
Right. If I own a business, and I have, outside of that business, I have a way to promote my business to millions and millions of people, I'm gonna do that. Like, yeah, sure. Like, the legality of it is, because it's all like this YouTube self-promotion and bollocks like that, is kind of still a bit of a grey area and still kind of being figured out. Then, if I was confident I wasn't going to get arrested for it, then fuck it, why not?
Fair enough. I don't know. It's a weird one to be watching unfold, like all the YouTubers going fucking ape shit over it. And this guy, I don't know which guy it is, but one of the guys seems rather unplussed about what's been going on. Seems to just be laughing in the face of adversity. And didn't one of them fucking go on a YouTube video on this Steam bot account or something?
Yeah, there was a GIF where I saw a GIF where he like accidentally went onto the wrong account.
Yeah,
that like proved it or some shit.
It's not the fact that like they're doing the videos, because like fair enough, it's their YouTube channel, they can do what they want. It's just the fact that they didn't disclaim that they owned it, and that they could be like, it's not that it wasn't proven that they did anything shady, or like whether it was just extreme luck that they won all these times. But ultimately,
there was a thing a few months ago with a fairly prominent Counter-Strike analyst, like esports analyst, not anything else. And he like eventually when it all came out, he like, yeah, I have an addiction to like gambling on skins and shit like that. But he was sponsored by a site not quite the same but similar to this. And the site said, look, if you want to stream, we have access, we have a way so that we can set up, like, there was no real money involved, but we can set up a fake bet and guarantee that you win on it. So it kind of looks like you're winning, and then you can put that out as a video and stuff like that. That is definitely a thing that can happen and has happened. But I know in that instance, like, the stuff that he was doing was, he didn't outright say it, but it was relatively clear from the way he was winning that it was all like behind the scenes back end dodgy stuff. But yeah, that kind of blew up, and then I think he lost some of his analyst gigs. Like, he was on E-League, which is the big televised one in the US. I think he lost that gig because of it. But yeah, this happened, like something similar happened a few months ago, and that all blew over. So this will just blow over by next week.
Do you not think it'll have any wider implications on this type of stuff?
I mean, it'll be bought like when people eventually get round to legalizing shit like this and deciding that like YouTubers not disclosing when they've been paid for stuff is dodgy, there'll be a whole thing like that, like there was for games industry writing a few years ago. It will be mentioned, but I don't think it'll be the catalyst. Like this isn't Doritos Mountain Dew Gate GMA thing. This isn't. I don't think that's this for YouTube. I don't think it's quite there yet.
Okay, fair enough. Well, before we wrap this show up, you want to talk about summer games done quick, Stubbsy? Because you think it's interesting.
Oh shit, yeah, I do actually. Oh, that's what I should have been watching when you was talking about your Japanese shit.
Bring us home with that then, why not?
Yeah, so, as you know, like, I spend probably more of my entertainment viewing time on Twitch than anything else, like by a considerable margin.
Crazy, man.
And it might have been earlier this year, I can't remember. There was, basically, there's this thing called Games Done Quick, which is a massive speedrunning marathon. Now, like, speedrunning is where you go through a game as quick as you can. And Games Done Quick is a charity event, and the one that's on at the minute is Summer Games Done Quick, which started Sunday or Monday and runs through till, I think it might be Sunday to Sunday, because that would make sense, because that would be a week. But it's basically like a 24-hour live stream of people speedrunning games.
Okay.
And some other shit like that you see is unbelievable. Like, you can finish Bioshock in like 40 minutes and Fallout 4 in like an hour.
I was just about to ask what's the craziest one that's done, but you've kind of like smashed out of the water straight out of the way. I thought you'd have said like, I'm Super Meat Boy, fucking all them stuff.
Let me check. Like, a lot of it is glitch based.
Oh, okay.
And like,
surely it's
well,
not
sometimes
kind of speedrun,
it depends.
It's just a glitch.
It depends on the game. Like, some games you do glitchless runs because you can glitch to instantly do it, and some games you have to get a certain percentage, whereas other games it's just get to the end.
It's like Spelunky, that must be fascinating to watch.
I haven't seen a Spelunky run. I don't know if there is one this time. I'm just looking at their schedule, and like what it is, some of the games that you see are really, really niche. Like one of them, it was like Claymatronics or Clay something that was like a random NES game that I was watching the other day, and it looked like it was called Claymates, and it's like a game that I've never heard of, will never play because it's so old. But this guy, it was like a platformer, and this guy was so skilled at it, and like he knew exactly where to go in these massive levels, knew exactly what time to jump, when to jump, and it's just unbelievable to watch the mastery behind some of it.
I can imagine.
So like, I'm looking at the schedule here. Bioshock was done in 51 minutes. Dishonored was done in 35 minutes. Wolfenstein an hour and 45. I tell you what was quite good to watch. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which is like a massive RPG. They speedrun that in an hour and 32 minutes. Which was like the efficiency in that. It was like, oh, this is something that we should do, but we're not going to because we don't need the item. So we're gonna like skip past this. And then it's like, and a lot of the games have like, kind of, if you go into a new area, sometimes there's like a little camera thing to skip that like shows you where you are, and like mini cutscene type things. Loads of games have like skips that you can just skip them all the time, but it involves like starting and restarting the game like 10 times and shit. Like with the pause menu, so you just see like the pause menu flash up and go away, and you're like, what the fuck's that? And then you're like, oh wait, they're skipping shit. And then this morning I was watching a run of the original Little Big Planet, like the the missions that you get like default with it. Yeah. And there's a trick in that where I think it's if you stand on the upper right left of a block or something like that, you could jump in a certain way where it like catapults you like twice as high in the air, and that allows you to skip certain things. So like in Little Big Planet you can just skip like entire levels if you hit this one jump. And there was Wario World earlier. And Wario World's the one
Wario World, what a game!
It's like it's not quite open world, but it's like a platformer where instead of just being minigame after minigame, like you run into different arenas that kick off the minigame. And the whole point of this run is to like skip the arenas, like to jump over them or go out of bounds and get round them. Because if you start in an arena and you have to do a mini game, that's a minute added onto your time, which obviously is a bit shit for a speedrun. So it was like there are these big circular arenas that like realistically you shouldn't be able to skip. And he's like, right, if I get this pixel perfect and stand on the exact right pixel and then jump on the right frame and then jump on the right frame again, I can get past this thing. And then he just does it first time. You're like, how the fuck? Like, one, how the fuck did you figure that out? And two, how the fuck do you manage to jump at frame perfect intervals? It is genuinely the most impressive thing you'll ever see. So like, what time are we at? We're at 8 PM. So going on right now is a run of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006.
Yeah, I've got it up on my phone right now. It's like I'm watching them just like that, like fucking jump about this forest. Holy fuck!
Yeah,
I think speedrun is like amazing. Like I think it's like I don't know how people. I don't understand how people do it, but I just like when you watch it, it just blows your mind because you're like, holy fuck! I've spent like how many hours in this game, blah blah, and then they've done it in like 20 minutes.
Oh, I saw one guy. I think it was yesterday. Did a run of, let me find it, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and he did it blindfolded and finished it in like an hour and 10 minutes.
Nah,
Jesus Christ.
Like, no, it was like totally legit, like, because he's on camera all the time, and the only issue that he had was, like, when you enter the menu screen, you can press one of the triggers to sort of skip to the bottom of the menu, and you can use one of the triggers to skip to the bottom of the menu, and for some reason the game glitched out so that when he was on the menu that trigger wouldn't work. So like that fucked him over, and he spent a couple of minutes trying to figure it out, and then the people then he just started asking like, why am I not hearing the sound cues that I'm expecting, what's happened? And the guys were like, oh, you fucked up in the menu, and then they went back, realised it had glitched, and that was the only time that he fucked up, and it was a glitch in the game. Like the rest of the time he literally perfected it using only sound and his muscle memory of speedrunning.
It's absolutely fascinating. It's madness. I couldn't.
This whole thing.
Don't have time.
This whole thing's a charity event. So this one is for Doctors Without Borders, I think. And like you donate. So come the end of the week, I'm going to donate something because I've watched it a fuck ton. And you just like chuck in some money. It goes to charity. I think they're like close to $300,000 at the minute. I want to say, or at least there was when I was watching.
Jesus Christ.
Great stuff.
But yeah, it's really, really fascinating. Like, just to watch is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Where can people watch that if they'd like to?
Twitch.tv/Games Done Quick, maybe? I don't know.
Well, if you want to watch that, check it out. I personally want to go and watch Wales in the Euros. So we're going to call that for the GodisaGeek podcast this week. I've been Dan Murphy, that's been Greg Hill, and that has been Mike Stubbsy. Of course, you can find us all on GodisaGeek.com for writings on words and previews and reviews. Did I say writings on words?
Yeah,
then?
you did.
Wow. Shut up, dog. Shut up. Fuck's sake. You can... There's so much editing to do in this podcast, but this is staying in, I can't be asked. You can... Fuck off, dog! Shut up!
You could just end the podcast with the dog in the background.
Okay, it's just frustrating.
Bye.
Now. I've broken the wheel. No, we've got to do this spiel. Sure. So, go to GodisaGeek.com for writing. Go to youtube.com/GodisaGeek for videos. Go to @GodisaGeek for Twitter. Go to Facebook.com/GodisaGeek for Facebook. And go on to Patreon.com/GodisaGeek to give us money if you'd be so inclined. You can follow me on Twitter @Abroski. You can follow Mike on Twitter @Mike Stubbsy. And you can follow Greg on Twitter @Greg Hill. If there's nothing left to say, lads, fuck off, dog! Jesus Christ! Say goodbye before I go and kill my dog, Greg.
Goodbye before you go and kill your dog, Greg.
Well done, Greg. I'm proud of you.
I'm gonna kill you. Fuck the dog. You're getting sliced, Mike. Say goodbye.
I mean, I've already said it, so.
Say it. Just say it.
No, I said it 10 minutes ago, and you refused to finish the podcast, so I'm not saying it again.
10 minutes ago, 30 seconds ago, and I was doing the ending bit. This dog is gonna get a fucking kick in the ear, dude. Don't fucking show up.
Oh,
yeah,
advocating animal cruelty.
Thought so.
The's a bit of thing about that on Big Brother this week, actually. Like, Big Brother's been kicking off because these people were like, these people that used to go out, it came out that the woman kicked the bloke's dog and he was really unhappy about it. So, yeah.
It's great, fascinating
and then,
insight.
like, as one of the tasks, they brought the dog in, and they were like, "Oh, you can see your dog, but obviously you got to fuck up the task." And they were both there, and like they could both have the option to go play with the dog, and then they didn't. And then the bloke came back, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm so glad you didn't go play with the dog, because you'd probably have launched it onto the M25." I was like, "Oh, that's funny."
Jesus. So that's it. 80% of your entertainment is Twitch. The other 20% is Big Brother.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, it's goodbye from Stubbsy, and it's goodbye from me, Stella.